got a dead luchador on our hands, friends. Luckily, yeah. Welcome back, Danganronpa stream playthrough. Start of chapter 5, Deadly Life. It looks like Makoto is about to make things clear, so let's make things clear. Just to make things clear, last night I was attacked by someone wearing a mask, and whoever that was, now they're... I don't know why, but they're laying dead in front of me. I mean, we don't have a guarantee that that is that person. We know that a person wearing that mask is dead. Right here, but likely, well, that's all we know. Person wearing a mask similar to that is dead. I told you there's a corpse hanging out here.
No way!
Are they really dead? Is this really a dead body? We haven't gotten a death announcement yet, which I'm happy about right now because Kyoko is my top suspect for who murdered this body.
What?
You need to begin looking around right away. However, be very careful. There's no telling what you might find. What'd you see? Just throw it in the lost and found. Even a dead body can find its way home that way. We need to find out who this actually is, but there's no way to tell with the mask covering their face like that. And the white coat they're wearing makes it impossible to tell anything about the body itself. The victim is a total mystery. Just take it off! But one thing I do know is whoever that is, they attacked me last night in my room. Now, something I've noticed. The body in front of us has longer red fingernails and is wearing high-heeled boots. I don't know if it's just the illustration, but no distinguishable fingernails on this character from the flashback. But why? How did they wind up dead here? Just take off the mask. Their heart isn't beating. They're not breathing. All signs of life have come to a complete stop. Thanks to the knife that's been driven into their stomach, their clothes are stained a bright red. It appears the bleeding has stopped, but the blood that's there is still wet. Be careful you don't touch it and get some on you. Why not? What's the problem? How can you be so calm at a time like this? Who is it? Your face and body are all hidden, so I don't have a clue. I'm pretty sure it's a girl, at least. Huh? How can you tell? Well, I think I see the outline of her chest and the general shape of her body. Yeah, the more I look, the more I'm sure it's a girl. Really? Then could it be... Okay, then. Let's just tear the mask clean off, thank you.
Come on.
Wait, don't. Why not? By the time he called out, it was already too late. Toko's hand shot out towards the mask, and in the next instant... Oh. There was a blinding light and a deafening roar. These luchadors go to extensive measures to keep their identity hidden. It's essential to their pride as luchadors. The body blew up. It blew up, it blew up, it blew up, it blew up, blew. Sure. My vision started to darken. I prepared to pass out, but then... Hurry up! Put the fire out! As my consciousness attempted to float away, that voice reached up and pulled it back down to earth. Someone pressed something into my hands. It was a bucket of water. Come on, dump the water on it. Okay. The upper half of the body was on fire. I took aim, and I tossed the water as hard as I could. Sploosh! Thankfully, that was enough to put out the fire. It died down, leaving behind only the unpleasant smell of burning. I guess that took care of it? But what the hell, man? It exploded?
What did you say?
I had a bad feeling about that body, but I never imagined it would explode. And now the body...
What?
It's burnt to a crisp. That's beyond well done, man. Don't compare it to a steak. I'll never be able to eat steak again. But now the body's charred, I really have no idea. How are we gonna find out who it was? Who isn't here right now? Huh?
What?
If we consider who's not here, that would quickly narrow down who it must be. There's only one person missing. It's Kyoko. Kyoko? Nah. Then that dead body is Kyoko? Probably not. But maybe. No, that can't be right. Calm down. I didn't say it was Kyoko. But I mean, who else? There is one other person.
In other words...
The mastermind. Huh?
What?
The mastermind?
What the heck?
Come on, there's no way. The mastermind got charboiled? Get serious. I agree, normally the idea wouldn't be worth considering. But I have reason to believe it may be true. The mastermind being dead would explain the other matters, wouldn't it? Monokuma can hardly move around if the master is dead, right? But that corpse is a girl, right? It doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it make any sense? Because it's a girl. I mean, remember what Alter Ego said? Oh, yeah. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the mastermind is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now.
What the heck?
He said the mastermind is some middle-aged dude, right? Which this corpse, obviously, isn't. Then could that mean the mastermind isn't the headmaster? Is it the teenage girl Kyoko told me about? That's what it was. The ultimate despair. Huh? Oh, did I say it out loud? Mukuro Ikusabi, the 16th student at Hope's Peak.
What?
What are you talking about? The other day, Kyoko confided in me. She said there was a 16th student here in the school.
What?
I think you'd better tell us everything you know. Well, all Kyoko told me was...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
It sounded like Kyoko thinks Mukuro Ikusaba is the mastermind. No, the headmaster isn't the mastermind, I'm sure of that. What? I don't have proof yet, but I have no doubt I'm right.
I see.
There's another student here, and it's a female. That would match the body's characteristics. And that phrase, the ultimate despair, it sounds super mastermindy, doesn't it?
Could it be...
Okay, so the mastermind is this girl, Mukuro, and she's a student here, and she's the ultimate despair? But if she's been hiding here in the school like some teenage Bigfoot... That was well said. How'd she wind up burnt to a crisp?
What the heck?
None of this makes any sense. You just suddenly show up and then die? I think we'd better take a closer look at the body. There may be some clues to help us figure out exactly who it is. Ah, Hey, wait!
What?
Aren't we forgetting something? You know, Toko?
What?
Yeah, she totally got blown up, huh? Forget about her. I'm sure the explosion vaporized her. Oh, snap. Oh, she survived! Oh, she survived. Huh? What just happened, Master?
Stop talking.
You declared for the whole world to hear. You declared for the whole world to hear that you would never again inhale a single molecule of oxygen. Oh, then I don't mind breathing in the carbon dioxide you exhale. That's enough for me to live.
What the heck?
This is the strangest back and forth I've ever heard. What this be? Right now, I have to focus on the body. Is that not considered the body? Fine. I should take a close look at the body one more time.
So,
Watch yourself, Makoto. She may be dead, but she's still a girl. What? Don't worry. I don't plan on touching the body all that much. I'm not Kyoko, after all. What this be? Hold on, there's something on the ground here. What I wanted to... There's something next to the body. Yeah, it's a key? Is this what Kyoko took from Monokuma? But what did you steal?
so
I stole this. A key? Not that key. But by looking at it, I could tell it wasn't just any key. It was shaped like Monokuma. It was probably the only key on Earth, only key of its kind on Earth. That's right, the key she stole was shaped like Monokuma. This isn't anything like that. Then this key is...
What?
What is it? Did you find something? Yeah, this was on the ground, near the body. I've never seen this key before. What could it possibly go to? So, you don't even know then? Makoto, I'm going to give you a very important task. Huh?
I see.
That key might give you access to certain areas we thought were locked. You mean
So in other words...
the biolab, the data center, the headmaster's room, and the dorm rooms on the second floor? It's in your hands. So, I'm your errand boy now? So, I've been waiting a really long time to check out those dorms on the second floor, but I feel like we should go to the headmaster's room first. Which was down here. Yeah, this is my first time playing through. The headmaster's room was locked before. Okay, let's give it a shot. When I went to insert the key I'd found in the garden into the keyhole, huh? The key won't go in. I guess that means the key doesn't go to this door. Alright. Guess it would make sense for them to go to, As long as you say it's a good ending, that's all I'm concerned with. So, I'm glad, because mysteries like this can get kind of anticlimactic if the ending's not done well. The rooms I need to check on for this floor are... Wait. Rooms I need to check on this floor are the headmaster's room and the data center. Data center. The door to the data center was definitely locked before. Let's give it a shot. When I went to insert the key, I found the garden into the keyhole. It fits. Juice. Then this is the key to the data center. I'd managed to unlock the data center. Dun, 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 dun. I guess all that running paid off. The ending is very good, but the other games add onto the ending. That's good, because I plan on playing them after this. I'm really happy with what this has done so far, so I hope we keep a steady pace. I have to go tell everyone else. I immediately headed back to the garden. Man, I wanted to check the dorm school. So, you're back. How'd it go? I found out which room the key goes to. It's the data center down on the 4th floor. Then we can get into the data center now?
I see.
Interesting. But why did the now deceased have that key on them? This is the first one I've played. I suppose we'll just have to go to the data center and find out. Yeah, I think you're right. Here we are. Looks like the door's still unlocked. Hey, so when you open that door, there's not going to be another huge kaboom like before, right? You're asking that question now? Don't worry, we have Makoto. Thanks. You're the best. What?
In other words,
It's in your hands. Again? It means I trust you. That is an absolute lie. I'm just being used. Choco, Howl's getting blown up. It's exciting? Doesn't look exciting. Oh. Master told you he trusts you? Master told you that? Well, don't let it go to your head. I am so not happy about any of this. Alright, so let's just open this door and find out what's inside. I reached out and put my hand on the door. I closed my eyes and tried to clear my mind. With a silent prayer, I slowly opened the door. Nothing happened. After making sure I was still alive, I slowly opened my eyes. Whoa. Why are there so many desks here? In a word, the room was strange. I mean, all the rooms up till now were strange, but this room had a special kind of strangeness. It wasn't a surface fear like the rest of the school. Here, the fear was lurking beneath the surface. The room was filled with that kind of dread.
What?
Hey, that's... Hiro extended a trembling hand and pointed. Look at all those monitors on the wall. Look what they're showing. Each monitor displayed a different section of the school. I wonder why they're cutting out like that. The dorms, the classrooms, every part of the school was covered. This is...
What?
It's the direct feed from every single surveillance camera. All the cameras in the school fed back into this room, and they're displayed here on these monitors.
So that's it.
So the sole purpose of this room is to watch us. To watch us? Then this room is
It's all clear now.
the Mastermind's private room, without a doubt. The Mastermind's room. There's so many things I want to explore here. I guess that makes sense. So the Mastermind was here, watching us. Then I think this settles it. The body in the garden, if they had the key to this room, it can only mean one thing. That was the body of Mukuro Ikusaba, and she was the Mastermind. Then the Mastermind is dead? Like, really, really dead? It would seem so. For serious? It's too bad they had to go and die before Master could kill them himself. The Mastermind is dead. Could that really be true? Does that mean it's all over? Because, I mean, that body... Whatever happened, they obviously didn't die a natural death. So, who was it that... But if the Mastermind really is dead, that means we can finally get out of this hellhole.
How about that?
We gotta hurry up and find the exit. Come on.
That's enough.
No, we have to check this area thoroughly first. Huh? But what about the exit? If the mastermind truly is dead, we can leave whenever we decide to. But right now, we need to find out why the mastermind set up this life or death game in the first place. And I'm bothered by the fact that the mastermind was obviously murdered. Murdered? So, you think so too, huh?
Naturally.
Naturally. The state of the corpse makes it plain as day. There is absolutely no doubt the mastermind was murdered.
But
Why's it gotta be that way? I mean, who could have even done it?
such ignorance.
That's exactly why I said we need to investigate the purpose and identity of the mastermind.
I'm telling you!
Now you understand, you useless insect. You're banned from talking to Master ever again. The mastermind's purpose and why they were killed. This room may very well hold the answers to those questions. After all, the mastermind must have spent who knows how much time here. Okay then, let us begin our search. It's time to uncover the identity of the mastermind. Oh baby! First of all, well, we'll never know what's on these monitors over here. Tell me about this joint. Nothing to show on this one. Huh! Hey look! Next to that TV. Isn't that a TV antenna?
How about that?
It is! Just like the one my grandma uses. It's totally one of those high-def antennas. Wait, so if we hook up that antenna, we could watch TV? Huh? Did someone say TV?
You know?
Well, Saturday morning Hina's here. Are you talking about me?
Okay.
Anyway, if we can watch TV, let's do it. Come on.
You know?
Oh, you're all starved for info from the outside world, huh? Alright, let me work my magic, and you'll be quantum leaping your way to the TV land before you know it. I mean, I get the reference, but what's he talking about? Why was the mastermind murdered? To figure that out, we need to find the identity and the purpose of the mastermind. Jeez, I can't believe how many monitors are here. My eyes are flickering just as... weird. Oh, my eyes are flickering just as fast as they are. Hey, you still don't have the TV fixed? Just give me some time, okay? We gotta make sure we can drive Spaceship Earth safely. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I also think I have no idea. You can open the store. The store's kind of creepy. It's got a picture of Monokuma on it. What could be inside? Gotta rattle. You know what? The door's locked, huh? What if you use that key that opened this room? Let's give it a try, just in case. Rattle, rattle. Nope, no good. Won't even fit in the keyhole.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The mastermind's dead, right? So nothing's gonna happen to us. Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't stop thinking about that door with Monokuma's picture on it. But worrying about it isn't gonna do me any good. Hina's right. The mastermind's gone, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. These assertions. So, you think you can fix the TV? Just a little longer. What, you really want to watch TV that bad? Another Saturday morning kid here.
What's your problem?
Hurry up and find something from Master. What's up with this? There's really a ridiculous number of monitors here. You see Kyoko on any of these monitors? And the mastermind's been using all of them to spy on us. As long as I have this. Huh? Look at Master go. He's like a feast for the eyes. How much is a monthly membership? There's a bunch of computers all lined up. They look like high-performance PCs. Nothing like the ancient laptop Alter Ego is installed on. They're all on, but they seem to be locked. So what? We can't do anything? Just use your fighting spirit to force your way in. What century are you from? The Mastermind must have been using these to monitor the network. And Alter Ego. You may well be right about that.
What?
But there's no point in thinking about it now. You're right.
You know?
What's wrong? Good news for all you Saturday morning kiddies out there. I think I got the TV working. Oh, really? Now, all we gotta do is switch it on.
What?
Then do it. Friggin' idiot Mastermind. Oh, you guys need to cut free from your regrets of the outside world.
What the heck?
And they were just sitting here watching TV the whole time? They really thought they could get away with it?
Huh?
What? Huh? This is... It's the feed coming from the surveillance camera monitoring this room, isn't it?
What the heck?
Huh. That's weird.
Come on.
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Huh? That's really weird. You're weird. Weird in every way possible. And not just weird, super weird. But this TV isn't hooked up to anything but the antenna. So, how's it showing the camera feed?
Well...
Did you try changing the channel? Oh, good idea. Let's give that a try. Hero went through each channel, one by one. But on every channel, it was just us. It was a live feed to us, standing there in the data center.
What the heck?
Is it broken or something?
Could it be?
No, there must be some kind of trick to it. Some weird setup. Oh, a trick? What kind of trick?
Actually,
I'm not sure, but...
what?
Been a while, you friggin' bastards! Monokuma? How? You're supposed to be dead. Me? Dead? Don't be freaking stupid.
What?
Hey, you're acting kind of strange. Something seems different.
Of course.
Of course I'm different. Every evolution is perfectly natural. After all, I've been hibernating for 2 years already. Not even. It's been like half a day at most. How are you alive again? Oh yeah, that's it. The look on your faces right now is sublime. That's what I wanted to see. The moment you went from hope to despair. Don't tell me you pretended to be dead, all for this moment. Why would a bear pretend to be dead? You're the ones who should pretend to be dead when you see a bear. I mean, that's totally laughable. Makes me laugh. I'm gonna laugh now.
Well now.
And that's that.
Shing.
Well, it's almost time to cut off your past so full of hope and begin to despair at the future ahead of you. I want you all to have way more fun in this killing game. You can't be serious. We have to keep going?
Let me out of here!
No, we're supposed to get out of here. Get out of here? Are you still obsessed with getting out of here?
Unbelievable.
How do you not get it? There is no getting out of here. And besides,
Yep.
this life isn't all bad, you know. I mean, there's stuff you don't like about it, life, no matter where you are. Are you serious? This place is the worst. If it's the worst, does that mean you're in despair?
Well now.
Whew, I'm pooped from all that laughing. Guess I'll just get to the point now. The point?
Hey,
You guys really struck gold when you found that TV. Yes, indeed, that TV is an essential part of your school life here.
What?
I knew it was hiding a secret of some kind.
What the heck?
But I connected the antenna, so why is it just showing us the surveillance feed? Look at how attentive they are now. Well then, I'm gonna let you in on a blood-gushing secret and tell you about it. That TV is absolutely, without a doubt, displaying the signal coming in on the antenna. Huh? But does that mean it's displaying the signal? But it's just us standing here.
Unbelievable.
You're so stupid. Don't you get it? Fine, I'll just tell you.
Chills,
This
chills,
killing game
chills.
is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. I kind of figured that. What?
Extreme.
This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. It doesn't matter how many times he says it. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I mean, even if I understood the words, I'm not sure I'd understand the deeper meaning. What? Broadcast live to the entire world? But what kind of bad joke is this?
That's...
It can't be. Have they taken over the airwaves somehow?
Oh, no!
The camera feed is being broadcast? No way, that's impossible. That kind of overconfidence is a major weakness in your crisis management system. You know that? All you need is one weird trick that I found, and hijacking the airwaves is easy mode. Are you being serious right now?
Of course.
I heard a kind of creaking, but the sound was coming from my own mind. Like a boat tossing in the ocean, my mind had begun to creak and groan.
Hey,
Everything has meaning, you know? All those hints I gave you, all those tantalizing tidbits about the school's mysteries. Even me luring you here, right now. Why would I do any of that without a reason? It was all for my captive audience, to show them true despair like I'd never seen it before. I became the director of a despair-based production. This is the ultimate reality show. The best in despair entertainment.
what are you saying?
You're lying. If this was on TV, the police and everyone else would be going crazy. Yeah, there's no way they wouldn't have tried to come rescue us.
Actually,
What if they already did? Huh?
yes indeed.
But then again, it's not really any of their business, right? Sure, some people might yell at their TV and try and warn you, but who would actually come here and help? Don't you think that's impossible? I don't really know personally though, so whatever.
This can't be.
But to take control of all communications like that, you need an astronomical amount of resources. Yep. So, how could things have come this far? Well, that's a secret. There's something you all need to do first, remember? What?
Of course.
Yeah, duh. There's the little business of... Shit. I was hoping this wouldn't happen.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Huh? Class trial? Do you mean...
It's the Monokuma
Monokuma file. I'll leave the next Monokuma file right here. Everyone give it your all, okay?
Heart-pounding excitement.
Okay, things are gonna get pretty crazy from here on out. You're in for a heck of a ride.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, now things are gonna get crazy. Well, that's good, because before... And then, he was gone. Reality was incomprehensible. The truth, hopelessly out of reach. All we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had just to keep myself standing upright. I don't understand any of this. What's despair entertainment? And how is he still alive?
I'm sick of this.
I thought that finally we could get out of here. And plus, what did he say about a class trial?
Stop talking.
Well, that part's obvious. The class trial is the class trial. What it means is that at this point, we have to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyoko. What?
What the heck?
What are you talking about? I thought Mukuro Ikusabi was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fills that condition. Oh, that really narrows it down. And if Monokuma is still alive and active, that means that the mastermind, Mukuro Ikusabi, isn't dead. I feel like you're making some serious assumptions here. So naturally, that body can't belong to her, so it must be Kyoko. There's no other possibility. The body is Kyoko's? Kyoko's been murdered? No, it's not possible. Because I don't know anything about her yet. I don't know who she really is. To have it end like this. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
Quiet.
Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, it's your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself. Myself? Anyway, we'd better begin. But if we're gonna have a class trial, then that means the killer...
That's right.
Correct. It must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so you're saying one of us killed Kyoko? Well, that's not precisely what I'm saying, no. Huh? But you just said...
Stop talking.
I don't have time to explain now. There's a veritable mountain of issues I need to confirm. So I'm going to begin my search. If you value your lives, you'll put everything you have into this. That is how this game works, after all. Well, I'd better start by checking out the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim has been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The unidentified body, could it really be Kyoko? Or... I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened, or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of the crime, back to the garden. Nice. Monokuma File 5 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, time to get started. We need to check anywhere that may be important from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. Show off. I'll check the body more thoroughly. Maybe I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. And they're really long. Kyoko always wore gloves. They seem like they'd get in the way of normal activity. That's what I'm saying, man. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but... it looks like it's a picture of a dog or something I've never seen... yeah, or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Nice. Tattoo on the right hand. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet? Oh. That makes sense. That's because it got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the parts that were on fire, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Nice. Exploded body analysis. It's been added to the truth bullet section in the handbook. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burned up. There's only one little piece left. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it. Which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. What if it got dumped in the Monokuma flower at first? There's nothing strange about that, right? Alright, now, actually tell me what this is. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really tell for sure, but I feel like I've seen something like this, something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Nice. Fragment near the dead body has been added to toothpaste. There's a knife laying on the ground. What's this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over there. The Monokuma files said the knife went all the way through the body, front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife looks really familiar. Wait, is this? That's it! It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab that same masked attacker we found here. So, maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and maybe then and if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. No, you saw Kyoko after all that. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Nice. Knife. The scene of the crime. Yeah. Monokuma flower. Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, even people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. Oops, didn't mean to pick that. I remember there were some chickens in the chicken coop. 5 chickens. I count 4 chickens. Huh? 4?
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right? Huh? What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? Ugh. It's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But
I was down here just before the nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then.
what?
What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4, is going to have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hiro and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Next, chicken coop chickens have been added to each case. Sprinklers! The sprinklers turn on at precisely 8 o'clock? This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They were set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said that time positively wouldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? And if the body was here before then, the sprinklers would have gotten it wet. Which would mean the murder must have taken place. I mean, half of the body is wet, so... Listen, Makoto. Do you remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right. It was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Yakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody, but for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any of it on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks. That's a really big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, maybe having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot too. So thank you too. Body before explosion. So who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Good timing, Makoto. I want to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? What's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you tell that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So the murder could have only taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well. And you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? Right. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and?
You're serious?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual, and I headed to the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, we went to the gym. It was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right. It had to be right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So, I think we can say for sure the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. When the body was found has been added to the chief. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Tarp, that's the one thing in here that concerns me. That's the one thing? Something car, yep. There's a lawnmower here. Really hope there aren't any clues hidden in the fertilizer. Fine, okay. I get it. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area, but I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically, that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? That's true. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. With the key to her room,
It's all clear now.
I will simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage in any further suspicious activity.
What?
Limit my options?
Just give up.
Give me the key to your room. I don't have any choice. I have to see if they'll let me borrow a room key. Hey, Byakuya, if you don't come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it. If you do come up with an alibi, later, at the class trial. Oh, no, it's not about that. You have a key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect, after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Oh, then, will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later, and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back later, Okay then, in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Can I fast travel to that one area? bathroom. This also leads to the secret room. You should probably avoid going in. Oh, then what is that one area? Seems familiar. Something I've seen earlier. Press. This is the greatest mystery of all. Where did I see this corner of this thing? Creepy door. Grand piano, not related to these. Everything's back to normal. Just like with Sayaka and Taka, Monokuma's responsible, I'm sure. Don't know what I'm looking for. Just walking in rooms randomly. It's locked. Still. On display, nothing catching my attention. Target seems pretty far away. I have no idea. Still one other place I need to check. What place is it though? Maybe classrooms. Next office. School state. Class. Okay, okay. I went there. Oh, I didn't know too. Tried to go there. Class. Kuma's laying this man on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
We just found something. What is it? Oh, it's...
Huh?
It's what? A bomb. I installed one in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. A bomb? Interesting. That bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Okay. Now things are getting interesting. Okay, I've checked everything else. That's all I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Think we can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You wanted to check Kyoko's room, right? Very well. Let's go. Yeah, wait for me! Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Can't unlock it myself. I need to ask Byakuya. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole, and then... And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. Just like I expected. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration? I don't think so.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key? Oh yeah, the lockers at that really traditional public bathhouse use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something
It's
like that.
certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know where it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in that dojo that might go to this. This might go to the dojo. Woodblock key has been added to the Trico section of your handbook.
It's certainly...
It's key, yep. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I'd better not look inside. To a funeral. Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting. At least not as far as the case is concerned. Good enough.
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular. I just thought we might find some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand you.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? I'm sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed to, no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it somewhere. Found it! What's in that envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Oh, under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Ah, class number 78, student registry. 78? Mukuro Ikusaba?
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I tell you, it was a key and a blank. That's it. Must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female, the ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. An elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. Fenrir is, I used to know it. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, but she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed. Fenrir's a wolf, right? She never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Fenrir. Norse. Here we go. In Norse mythology, Fenrir is a monstrous wolf. Fenrir attested in the Poetica Edda. Fenrir is the father of the wolves Skurl and Hati. Is a son of Loki and is foretold to kill the god Odin during the events of Ragnarok, but will in turn be killed by Odin's son. Word. So, this is good. Member of Fenrir, wolf tattoo on the back of the hand. Don't think Kyoko is dead. What concerns me is that she's going to be punished for the death of Mukuro Ikusaba. Maybe someone else did it, though, because she wasn't around, as far as we know, to find that bomb. So... Alright, let us continue learning about Mukuro Ikusaba. Oh, that was the end. Well, that's fine. The Ultimate Soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things, as just another ordinary person. But then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Man, did I just waste all that time researching to learn something Byakuya was going to tell me outright? Sorry. Huh, you recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collective of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and a bit player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you.
What?
What have you got in that pretty little hand there? In your pretty little hand. Uh-oh, you found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't forget on me. I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you were wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivores, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to the organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh? So you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it is and all, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? Now, I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When y'all first got here together in the hallway way back when, there were 15 people here, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying...
in other words,
That's right, there weren't actually 15 of you.
yes indeed.
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then...
Mukuro Ikusaba, the
Mukuro
16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair.
So, Junko was killed very early for a rules violation. She always wore Monokuma. She had Monokuma jewelry in her hair. I always wrote it off to branding and like marketing for the game to have a character like that, because I see her a lot around, even if she dies early on in the game. But I wonder, mayhaps she is not actually dead. Mayhaps Junko is running the show.
Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba, she's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Huh?
Huh? Did you say something? Why are you telling us all of this? Oh, well, because... like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes indeed.
Makes sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get to, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously? She's not dead.
Hey,
She's not dead. You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out, all the time? Well, don't tell... Oh, wait. Don't tell anyone I told you, but... what if Kyoko Kirigiri is not her actual name? She wears them to cover up a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand, the tattoo. Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Always. Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case.
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. Perhaps she's dead. What? That would explain why, it would explain why we have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? No. She killed Kyoko? No. Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought of when the investigation first began.
What?
But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusabi isn't the culprit. She's the victim. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But, if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So, that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible, but if that's really true, Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is she? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out if that key and the dojo really are connected. Well, are you coming? There are wooden lockers here. They use woodlock keys just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. Looks like the key we found in Mukuro's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker furthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock. And click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. Arrows. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. What's that, Nerve? Why strong sticks? Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's blood. It's a wadded up, it's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain? Okay, here's my thing. Byakuya has had the key to Kyoko's room for days now, or at least a couple days. So this stuff would have had to, for her to have put that in her room, this stuff would have had to be there for quite a while. Way before this murder was relevant. So I'm wondering if this implicates Byakuya, potentially. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this might be Byakuya's move. Somehow, some way. Is that a bloodstain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. No, it doesn't. This duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape has been added to the truthful section of your handbook. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps he's trying to misdirect me on purpose now. If he knows about Fenrir, he would probably recognize that symbol. He would know that the victim is Mukuro. Byakuya. Byakuya did it. Kyoko's gonna survive this again. I'm so happy. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. What? The next location, you say?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. What is it? We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? If only we had some sort of library of top secret information we could consult. Isn't it obvious? Where in this school would you go to do research on something? Research. The biology room. Are you talking about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before that trial begins. Let's hurry. Fenrir. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Byakuya seems to know the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to his shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. He quickly returned with a file in hand.
I see.
Take a look at this. Shaboom! I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? You just have to read 100 pages to him. It's not a big deal. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes all this so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir, now that you mention it. Your report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right, it said Fenrir is the wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they are a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Nice. Mukuro's profile has been updated in the Truth Bullet section. Handbook. Alright, go time.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena.
Natural phenomena.
It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
And the time has come. All we can do now is try and uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. So, whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together? Where in the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
It's guy love, that's all it is. Or, are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But I stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet? Because not everyone's here, friend.
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Or what? Jesus! Oh, did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here, now can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. We have started 4 times without everyone arriving. Boo-hoo, sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting for 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. It's not a violation. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. And then when we heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
I'm here. No rule's been broken. Kyoko? Kyoko, you're still alive? No, it's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. It'll be just one step ahead. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko!
Ah,
So you really didn't die?
indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Me too. Same. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we gotta deal with a ghost. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this class trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Hey girl. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor.
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So,
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So, that's why you were late.
however,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But, if you were on the second floor of the dorms, and that's what the key you found goes to?
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite. It goes to the headmaster's room, right?
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account has been added to the true.
just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over the details after we get through with the trial, okay, Makoto? Yes, please. Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment for me so far for me. You're right, for her? That's a strange way to put it. Class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her? Because she's the number one suspect.
goodbye.
Duh. Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the doors slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusty darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, still and silent. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Whoa!
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Ah, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Chills! Kills!
Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly last trial. Yeah, I want to save the data. Data. Set skills. Do I have any exciting new skills that I forgot about? Do I get a new skill from Choco? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay. Word. Truth bullets. 18. No corpse in the garden at nighttime. Also said that the none of them were alone. What is this about, I wonder? Alright, let's do this. Class trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim.
Alright,
First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
alright.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Obviously.
Yoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Oh, we're actually gonna do this, huh?
Her traits?
One important thing. It's gotta be this.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
This, no.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Ghost. There's no way that the corpse was Kyoko. But if I can prove why, if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... shoot my truth gun. It's probably fake nails, huh?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Alright. I know that Kyoko's body isn't missing, and I know that I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope, okay. What's wrong? Did I say something weird? Let me think about it one more time.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? You're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
He spent way
Which
too much
should have
time
been
trying to
obvious
prove.
since she's standing right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from you. Smuggler's body analysis. Okay.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
I messed up. What? You think something I said
Shoot.
wrong? I need to stop doing this or I'm gonna get myself killed.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
For real.
You're lying. He'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Compare the tattoo to other information. You should have a clear idea. Hearts of the soldier, obsessed with the military from a young age, choose a member of Fenrir.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is...
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-stars.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Apparently
You
not.
sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from
Monica? No. Kyoko?
Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
Ooh,
But how
baby.
can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Just.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Just don't really know. There can only be 2. Oh.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
You're the only one that can confirm that, though? Because I think you did it, so...
So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So, the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it. I can't let this stand. Somehow, I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Doesn't have to
Oh,
be...
but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, we left the gym, it's just before 9, it's probably 9 o'clock on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
No, we can't.
For me,
We can
I
only be
was
sure
already
that the
asleep
body
before
is
nighttime
placed.
hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., 7:30 a.m. Looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I'll just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi for. To do that, I have to make it clear how the body ended up in the garden. We want sprinkler system, right? Or fragments near a dead body might also be.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough
Whoops,
time to
wrong
commit
button.
murder, I should. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
There's something in the higher garden, controlled by all those things that we already knew, but we
We've
pressed the wrong
established a
button.
time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
No? Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Makes some sense. Must be a contradiction in your song.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
No.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence that she did. If you look at the body itself, it should be clear. The moment of truth. Oh, shit.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! How can you say it wasn't the
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I wonder if somebody put the chicken in the Monokuma flour just to test it.
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinkler didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
No, it doesn't.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Convenient.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
I won't let you kill her. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
I got you, girl. I'm here for you.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She was gonna
She
kill
thought
me.
Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
That's true.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something at the scene she used to cover the body. If only there was something like a tarp found at the scene.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? It's fine, dude. Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, she just wants to establish that our logic was incorrect. No, I can't think about that now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched to the body, right? No blood, but the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motives. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Body before explosion, fragments of the body.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. Byakuya even warned us not to touch it.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side
I'm gonna try something.
because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oops. Remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet.
By covering the body with the tarp,
The killer prevents.
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that side.
Side was since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Remember the blood on the Becky.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is
Actually,
because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Man, alright.
By covering the body with the tarp,
The killer prevents.
So the reason that was the spring, but the underside, it was totally spotless.
It's because that side was protected since it was facing down toward the bottom. Of course it didn't get dirty.
by covering the body with the tarp,
The killer
prevented it from.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side.
Uh-huh.
Shoot!
By covering the body with
The killer prevents.
So the reason the tarp was because the sprinkler.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless.
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward. Of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Oh, so the blood is on the back side of that jacket.
Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you.
The knife.
If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Thus washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
more than that. What if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Yeah. Now you're thinking of portals. The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Chicken! Sorry, chicken. I'd hope you'd had a more noble fate.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Is it Toko? She's the one who went up there alone.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
But the locker key was still in Kyoko's room.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
You're right.
But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Yes.
Oh no. I headed off to
Wait.
the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Shit, you're right.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
Everybody's on up
Serious,
now.
man? Which one of them did it?
This could have happened any time.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Super
Well, don't
serious.
just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. What to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? You setting me up, girl?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced you did it. 12,000% convinced.
That's a lot of percent. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I am not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
I forgot what these are. This
It
guy's
really
body.
is, isn't it?
Dead body.
I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, and that seals it. Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the bone.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, and that seals it. Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Maybe. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
There was a blow to the
Oh
head,
yeah,
though.
it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion
Speaking of
severely damaged
exploding the body,
making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway?
yeah.
Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Probably.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Right.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Yeah.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Where would she have gotten a Monokuma bomb, though?
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
To determine what ultimately killed the victim, I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Uh-huh.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Is that true? The knife was a cover-up and all those wounds in her body weren't fresh, which only leaves...
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No. Oh, it's in this one instead.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Knife is cover-up, fresh, leaves...
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
I don't know.
Shoot!
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up and all those other wounds in her body weren't fresh, which only leaves...
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
Did I
determined,
just miss
correct?
it?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, and then there's...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
I did. I just missed it.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Oh wow.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Maybe it was the whole bundle of arrows, and they were duct taped together. Or, yeah. Which is why they're bloody.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Yeah.
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
I agree.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon, one more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
Yep.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape.
Yeah.
The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Yeah.
Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak. You put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker,
Uh-huh.
it was you, Kyoko.
No, it couldn't have been, because you had a room key and she couldn't get inside it.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
No.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know
No.
what will happen if you do,
I'm gonna
don't you?
incriminate you.
If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Must be concerned with that dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
It doesn't.
Because
You're right.
I found it in your room.
That you can't get into.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Thank you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I know that.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
No.
I should know.
Huh? Yakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? And the bodies. That's not what I want.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the killer.
Mm-hmm.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
No. Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
What's that have to do with what I said? Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Those words you just spoke.
What do you... Exactly what I'm not the killer. You should understand that...
Byakuya,
Master would never hide.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct?
No? What?
shoot!
I need to think about one single time. There must be a contradiction in this somewhere.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct?
There's a...
Shoot!
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker.
I had it
And
backwards,
then
didn't
left
I?
the locker key in my own room. Correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in.
Yeah.
Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? I don't see how it's such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Is there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is the trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Master's mind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I? The Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here now.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
I have no idea. Kyoko's definitely lying. It must become clear. There's some other deeper truth that she wants hidden. Make your argument.
I didn't have the key to my room.
Uh-huh.
Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Uh-huh.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You're right.
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
And when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the...
Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool. It's any... Oh. I saw that she has stolen something very important from the headmaster's room.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I'd given it to Byakuya.
Uh-huh.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You're right.
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No, that's wrong. No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. Monokuma's secret tool, unlocked the school.
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it.
Oh.
So I lost. That's all this means.
Shit.
Then, are you saying you really didn't...
Yeah. It was just a trap, so Monokuma would expose that she had the tool.
You really aren't the killer?
No.
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up. All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right. You got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko! Yeah, I didn't get to.
Now then, I prepared
So many
a
things
very
haven't happened yet.
special
We're not done
punishment.
with this. Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
No, it's not. I didn't get to vote. Also, we didn't do the comic book thing. Stop! Good time to shut this shit down. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. Still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
You're right. It's not right. Whew! Okay.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right. I have to expose the lie or not. She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do? Not that again. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. I was a fool for not thinking that otherwise. I was trying to protect her, but I made a grave error. Right. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Does no one have a rebuttal?
Nope.
Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact?
Sure.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
No.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
Yeah.
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Everything is a different color.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
No.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
I vote for you.
Voting time?
Yay.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna me! What's it gonna be?
What? What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all my fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. What are you doing?
Indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yep, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like those other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Chills, chills, kills!
Time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
It's the same thing. Huh. You don't say. What is this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Oh, yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. Special punishment, you say? But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. To bring despair to the entire world. Well? Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Aho! The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in the top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They said if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years in tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gates of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. Huh? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It would be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Huh. Whoa. Finally. I could feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell, because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. It was a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. The trash was piled high across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Now after what my good friend went through to save me, I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So, I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. I wonder what it could be. Oh, what's this stuff doing? That's a rocket and a tank. Better not think too much about what I'm seeing around here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Is this all the stuff from the previous punishments? Is that what this is? Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Alright. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? The same strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. I watched as the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
This place smells awful. Kyoko! You got some cut pickle in your hair. You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm so glad. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Oh, you're the best. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. You still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. So you've got a key that opens everything, right? Can you open this, please? I better talk to Kyoko. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me? To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. Huh? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak? That's right. At least I did. Once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory, that's impossible. Amnesia? Then it really is true. You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing. We just did it again. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what could make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But what would make why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you just ask the rest of us to help?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What? Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course, she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to which I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could be the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
What? Yeah? Just like the dream. Oh, yeah. Just like the dream I had before, but why did that happen?
Listen.
You okay? Oh, yeah. It's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just... I'm not used to relying on... not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own, so how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Not surprising. The ultimate detective?
Correct.
The reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is the Hope's Peak headmaster. Then that explains... When Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved... I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I've seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been in there. Yeah. You mean the mastermind,
It's
right?
true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entire Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of dorms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check, and that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorm, so no cameras or monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know you didn't. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... But everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you're free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
Mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves is somehow bound by school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. What? I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, yeah! Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
Their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mikuro is also the mastermind,
Indeed.
right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I want. That's what I think. But that's really bad if it's true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever, kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right? You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mikuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mikuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair? That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair, and there, make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Alright, so that'll conclude Chapter 5, which means it'll also conclude our stream for today. But tune in maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday for the next chapter. And as always, follow, subscribe on YouTube, turn on those notifications if you want to know exactly when that next stream's starting up. And until then, stay safe out there.